I was only turning to bisexuality after my second marriage. I could have a relationship with a man as well as the two.
Mr. Davis, you were a major influence on the career of P. Diddy. Have you spoken to him since the federal raid? You were a major influence on his career. Have you spoken to Sean Combs? What do you make of the allegations against P. Diddy? Any comments about Diddy? He credits you as one of his mentors.
You created Diddy the monster.
People are curious about the status of P. Diddy.
Status of what?
P. Diddy. Diddy.
Puppy. The status of puppy. Yeah.
What do you make of that situation?
Diddy smart. He filmed every fucking session. So he was fucking Clive. And
I was Sean Combs, who was mentored by Clive Davis.
I was only turning to bisexuality.
Baddies, babes, and gents, wisdom family, kings and queens, welcome to Bad Girls Talk. And so what you just heard is just some clips from a recent Clive Davis impromptu interview. Clive was getting into a vehicle. You know, he's very old now, and someone was asking him, what does he think about the Diddy situation? Well, Clive acted like he didn't know who Diddy was. Who? Diddy? Duddy? Puffer? Who? Whoever was with him holding the umbrella said, Puffy Combs. He said, oh, yeah. So rumor has it that it is Clive Davis who groomed Puffy. And I'm not sure if you heard what Clive Davis said at the start of it, but he basically said that after his first marriage, he used, swinging both ways, that bisexuality, okay, so that he could be with men coming out of his own mouth. So today we're going to be getting into this right here, okay? There's a lot to talk about because truly this is too much. 120 Diddy victims have come together in a new class action lawsuit against Diddy, including someone who is alleging that they were victimized by the diddler at just 9 years old. Whoo, child. Wendy Williams has also broken her silence, and so we're going to get into that short interview, which is being brought to us by the Daily Mail. And so not sure how they got that interview, but so far it's looking like it's legit. And then I have a question for you guys. Is Nesto trying to hide evidence? Y'all let me know what y'all think, because his lawyer has put in a motion to suppress evidence and to suppress anything surrounding the impounding of his precious white truck. Y'all know the white truck that Shirley tried to sell for the better part of a year. And Nesto kept stringing her along saying, no, just wait till I get out. The market is not good. Okay, Shirley's like, well, I need a car and I can't drive that thing. Well, yeah, that's the truck that he's talking about. We're going to get into all that and more. And we're also going to hear from a very interesting Diddy victim who tells her story about her experience at a Diddy party where she was cornered by none other than Diddy and Kanye West. All right. Again, those of you who are new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. All that and more on Bad Girls Talk. Make sure you like the video as the intro plays. So let's get into this juice. But before we do, I am streaming on both channels. So I'm going to ask you to come over to Bad Girls Talk. I did put a link directly to the live, and where I'm going to be monitoring the live chat is in there. And so click on that link. Make sure that you are streaming over here on Bad Girls Talk. For those of you who have started on my main channel, pop up out of there. Come on over here to Bad Girls Talk. Look at that stuff. Okay, so I think some of the evidence, we're going to look at this. We're going to look at the court docs in just a second. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's 9 pages long, but there's certain things that I will highlight. All right, but some of the things that were found in Nesto's truck when he was picked up by Roswell is a liquid Viagra. Okay, we'd like to enter that into evidence as exhibit number 1. All right, and the black mass, we'd like to enter as evidence as exhibit number 2. Anyway, I had fun making this thumbnail. So let's go ahead and see who is in the room with us tonight. All right, let's see who was first in the building. Who am I greeting first? All right, I got Nola Brown 000 first in the building. All righty. I've got name change 412 says, hey, I Wisdom's daughter, Maz chat. Us seniors need love too was in the building. Shout out to June's Poetry. Yolanda Bynum said, hey, WB and Ken. Andrea is in the building, says, hey, y'all. I got Anisha Jones. Hey, Wisdom and everyone's. All right. Sherrod Newsom, and forgive me if I mispronounce the name, said, evening, everyone's. Jam said, hey, I'm listening. Good Trouble is in the building. Hey, WD Miles and Chat family. Marla, not Gibbs. Uncle Willie is here. I got to be nice. When I heard something about a 9-year-old child, I was disgusted. Justin's mom is in the building. And of course, we got Melissa Gauze. All right. Thank you, everyone. And to those of you who are in the bushes as well, welcome to the live. Again, make sure that you are joining me here on Bad Girls Talk. So let me get this out the way before I forget. So Nesto's trial or pre-trial hearing is tomorrow. All right. So I have my Rule 22. Yay. It is signed. It is approved. It is on the docket. All right. I've got a copy. I will be at the courtroom. I just got off the phone with Dennis Byron. And so, so all is well. We're good. And Pammy Pam is here as well. If you guys didn't hear, she's here right in Georgia. So she'll be there with her cameraman. So I'll get to meet her for the first time in person. I'll get to meet Dennis Byron for the first time in person. And I don't know if the Bible lady is going to be there, but if she is, I'm going to get her on camera. So I'm just letting y'all know. But the plan is for me to live stream, and I will be live streaming here on Bad Girls Talk. So make sure you guys don't miss that on tomorrow. All right. I probably will not be live streaming on the drive to the courthouse. That's somebody else's thing. But certainly when I get there, I'm going to set up immediately, and we're going to get that bad boy going. All righty. Be nice to everybody. Do you think Sonia will be called to testify? I would not put it past the DA or the defense. Excuse me. Hold on one second. So I would not put it past. But yes, I do think that she is going to be called to speak on some things. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I truly feel that Nesto is going to regret ever knowing this lady if she is called to testify. So apologies if I'm coughing a little bit. I don't know if you guys have heard, but we had a biolab that had a somewhat of an explosion, so to speak. There was a leak and they tried to clean it up with water and there was a chemical reaction. And so you've got chlorine and bromine and a number of chemicals that were in a plume just shooting up to the sky. And so the air quality is not that great. And even though I live further south, I had to drive through this town and, you know, it's in the air. And so, yeah, my throat was just a little bit irritated. And so there's a class action suit, so I might be able to jump on that. So, you know, if I do get any money, I'm taking everybody on vacation. I'm just saying. Shout out to that girl repping BK New York in the building. All right. So let's get on into this. Okay. I'm going to, where do we want to start? Where do we want to start? You know what? I think I'm going to start with the Nesto stuff and just get that out of the way because there's some stuff that I want to go over with Diddy. Some of what I heard about today, very interesting. And there's the young lady who tells her story. This is not a tearjerker type of story. I don't have the energy for that tonight, but it's really interesting. She talks about her experience being at Diddy's studio. Okay, so this wasn't the house party, but it was equally as dangerous. So we're going to hear about that. And yeah, and there's a victim, someone, and I'll just talk a little bit about his story and what happened with him. But yeah, there is a 9-year-old victim that is a part of this class action suit. And so we'll get into that in just a minute. But let's go ahead and just start with just a little bit of Nesto and what's happening with him, because I'm telling y'all right now, I think Nesto is trying to do, sorry y'all, this is really, really bad. This is really, let me drink this tea. Literally, I got some tea. I have to commend Hoover for at least giving it a try, but I think Nesto is grasping at straws. Okay, that's what I think. I think they're grasping at straws. I think they have been grasping at straws since they started. And, he has to try to defend Nesto to the best of his ability, but I don't think this is going to work. And I'm going to tell you why for a couple of reasons. We'll just have to see. But Nesto is trying to get these charges up off him, right? Isn't that what he always says? I got to get these charges up off him. And it's the pedo charges, because we talked about it earlier on Pam's live, and then I believe Bougie was live earlier. And here's the thing with Nesto as I bring up this document. Nesto has this RICO, and just the bigamy alone, he's probably going to end up getting 10 years, right? Just the bigamy alone, he's probably going to end up getting 10 years. And so Jill's Poetry said, Nesto's lawyer doing the job. Everyone tries to suppress evidence against him. Listen, his public defender is doing better than some of the lawyers that he's had. I honestly think Nesto cried to Mr. Hoover, talking about, all them other mother suckers that he tried to make famous that didn't do right by him, like Ike Turner. I do believe he went to him with a woe is me story about how the lawyers took advantage of him, took his money, and didn't do anything. And so I think Attorney Hoover is really trying his best to put his best foot forward and to really give it his all in this case. And he will be smart to do so, because according to him, this is a national case. It's a high profile case, although there's still a number of people here in Atlanta that never heard of Nesto or Shirley Strawberry. But in his mind, it's a high profile case, and this could be career changing for him. This could be something that could potentially lead to a boost in his career. I mean, it worked for Natalie Fields, because let Nesto tell it. She used him to jumpstart her career. So why not? So that's the first thing I think. I think Nesto cried to the man. The man feels bad, and he's really going to try to do, his best. And the most damning charges outside of the RICO is, because B Nice said Hoover knows all eyes are on him. Shout out to Galatians in the building as well. Anyway, but the biggest issue is with the child peace stuff. That's the biggest issue, for a couple of reasons. One is, even if they manage to, even if this works, they're able to suppress the evidence surrounding the impounding of that vehicle and everything attached to it. Even if that does work, what Nesto is concerned about, honestly, because I don't think he truly believes that he's going to not do any time for those charges. First of all, he's not even indicted on that yet, right? Just with the RICO alone, he's probably going to be looking at 30 plus years. He does not want to go to trial with them talking about the child peace stuff, because certainly Cobb County, the other inmates, if they don't already know, are going to find out who he is. And when they hear child P, okay, well, they will take him to Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, they will rip his backside a new one. He won't have to worry about trading a sausage for cereal, because he will get all the sausage in that back door. He can handle, and then some. Okay, I think that's his main concern. He's trying to get that off. So Yeah, I'm gonna get into that in just a minute about the 9-year-old. The 9-year-old is a victim in the Diddy class action suit, and so this lawyer, he is from Texas, but he has a license in Texas and New York. He said that he's used to difficult cases, high-profile cases. He's used to the shenanigans, basically, and there are victims, 120 right now, 60 women and 60 men. So it's actually even that are a part of that class action suit, and more are coming. Excuse me. And so one of the victims was 9 years old when they encountered the diddler. And I'll just tell you real quick what happened with that, and then we'll get into the Nesto stuff just briefly, and then there's a couple things that I want to show you guys. So what happened with this young boy is really sad. He was trying to get some type of a record deal, and he was brought to Diddy to audition for Diddy. And Diddy says, "Hey, you know what? Come on back here. Let me bring you in this room over here away from everybody else because I want to see your talent, right? I want to see what you can do." And Diddy brings this 9-year-old boy into a private room away from everyone else and forces this child to commit fellatio on him. And so that's the situation with this 9-year-old. There was also a 15-year-old girl who was flued out, okay, and they ran a train on her, some 20 some odd men, okay, front door, back door. There was another young lady who was actually pregnant at the time. She was at a Diddy dinner. It was just a dinner. She was pregnant. She wasn't drinking. That wasn't going to be her thing. And she drank whatever was at the table. It could have been water. It could have been water. And I don't know if you guys have heard the Diddy clip where he talks about the water. There's a clip where he was on the Conan O'Brien show, if I'm saying his name right, talking about, well, how you have to do it is you have to lock the doors, and you have to bring the heat and make it really hot, because that affects the alcohol. And if they're hot, no AC, don't tell them the AC, they'll take off their clothes. I mean, it wasn't funny then, and it's not funny now, but this young lady drank whatever was at the table. It could have been water. And maybe we'll just start with Diddy since we're talking about it. But anyway, could have been water, but she had just a couple sips, and she woke up the next day with her undergarments missing. And she, was obviously in pain and had to go to the doctor because they literally tore the doors off her front and back. Okay. So really, really bad. I don't know what happened with the child that she was carrying, but it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And so they're coming together in a class action suit. What the lawyer has said is that each case is going to be looked at individually. But they're still bringing, so it's not like it'll be under one case number, but each case will be treated as an individual case. So each person gets their individual due or their justice. Ooh, Galatians said that he should just go ahead and unalive himself. Somebody will. Yeah, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Diddy has a new legal team, and he's going to need it, because the lawyer that he had, I don't know if that lawyer is still a part of his legal team, but that lawyer went to the same law school as Nesto's side chick, Sonia, okay? And his explanation for the baby oil, and I got to tell you something about this baby oil. It's alleged, but I'm going to tell you anyway. His excuse or his reasoning behind why did he have so much baby oil is that he just buys in bulk. He has 2-3 homes, he just buys in bulk. But he also goes on to say that one bottle of baby oil goes a long way. Let me say this, because this is something that hasn't really been mentioned that I was thinking about. So I heard a rumor. It is alleged. Let me put up my banner. I heard a rumor that they didn't go to Diddy's house to confiscate 1,000 bottles of baby oil, right? Who gives a flying rat about the baby oil? However, what I heard is that there's a possibility that there wasn't baby oil in all those bottles. There may not have been baby oil in any of those bottles that they confiscated. It could have been liquid GHB, which is another term for liquid ecstasy. In a bottle, it looks like baby oil. It has that kind of consistency. You rub it onto the skin, it has an immediate effect, and some of the side effects of liquid ecstasy is paralysis, blacking out, loss of consciousness. All right. And so that's something the feds will be interested in. 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Okay, so what? Right? Maybe he was running a massage parlor inside his house. But 1,000 bottles of GHB, 1,000 bottles of liquid ecstasy. Now we got another issue, because think about it. Diddy has these parties 2 or 3 times a week. You talking about 400 or 500 people up at his house. He might need 1,000 bottles of GHB if he's drugging everybody. Because as we're going to hear from this young lady, it's a songwriter by the name of Nikki Heaton. I don't know if you heard about Nikki Heaton. We're also going to hear about a young lady who tells her story. She was 16. Okay. And I told you guys, I was at one of those Diddy parties, but I was outside. Okay. Yeah. That big, huge bed and stuff and all that, that's what it looks like. But I was outside. I wasn't one of these people that got into the house and wandered into the wrong room, but I could have been. I really could have been. This was very early on. So when I was at Diddy's house, this was the 90s. This is before he got cute and was getting the pink nose candy that looks like my shirt and had to set up IV drips. Okay. And if I don't cover it tonight, I'll cover it on the next live, because I'm going to do a whole complete live about some of this Diddy foolishness. I saw a video where Diddy, his mama was hooked up to an IV. His mama. Like, man, why do you need IV fluids? What were you doing the night before? I've seen videos of him smoking Mary J. Blige with his mama, or his mama was smoking with him. But to actually see the IV pole and the drip and the cord in her arm, like, for real, I can't. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Can you find the video of Diddy on that show, sis? I certainly can. Let me see. It should be in my email. I'll find it. I'll definitely find it. We'll get to the Nestle stuff. We're gonna start with the diddler, because we done already started. So let me go on my email and find this. Let me see. If not, I can just Google it, because it's been all over. But it was the Conan O'Brien. Oh, I believe I found it. No, definitely not. Something else. Hang on. And I'll keep talking to you until I find it. So my account is really asking me to verify if it's me. Yeah, it's me. Google is getting real cryptic now. I got to verify everything. Anyway, so he has a whole team now, and they attempted to not attempted, but they filed another bond motion, and it was denied. Okay. I read a story about a young lady, Elizabeth Overson, who says I was gifted to Diddy, and talks about her dark past with Diddy. She was just the sound of that. I was gifted to Diddy. How do you gift a person to another person? That sounds like slavery to me. I'm just saying. I don't understand how you. Anyway, let me see if I can find this, because I definitely have it. I definitely have it saved. I may have to hang on one second, y'all. I may have to go into my YouTube, because that's pretty much where I saw it. Let me go into my playlist. Hang on one second, y'all. So what Galatians is asking for is the Conan O'Brien interview, where Diddy is talking about these parties. Now, we're looking at it in a whole other context now. You know, it was weird back then, but it's definitely weird today. So that is what she's referring to. And I will find it. I should have had it queued up, but I didn't. So hang on a second. Let's see if it's in this one. Let's see. You know what also sounds weird now, more weird than before, is listening to, because everything is coming up now, but listening to TD Jakes talk about being swallowed up. Talking about, have you ever been swallowed? Hey, what would make you think to say something like that on your pulpit? Like, for real. 10 disturbing interviews because of what we know now. Let me see if it's in here. Let me see. It might be in here. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm searching, guys. You probably won't be able to. Okay, so I found it. Let me just share this. This is going to include the one I was talking about, but there's also a few others. And listening to this is frightening, to say the least. So let me just stop presenting that for a second, and let's bring this up. This video is called 10 Disturbing Diddy Interviews Because of What We Know Now. That's the name of it. All right. And this video belongs to Miss Mojo. Okay, I don't know who she is, but shout out to Miss Mojo. All right.
We know sometimes those relationships get ugly, you know, and sometimes it doesn't come out into the forefront the way this one has come out.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo. And today, we're rewinding several interviews that retroactively left us asking, what did Diddy say?
You're going to hear about my party. They're going to be shutting them down. They're going to probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time.
Representing The Wendy Williams Show. After Hot 97 fired Wendy Williams in 1998, she accused Sean P. Diddy Combs of using his money and influence to, quote, try to crush her in New York. Almost 2 decades after their beef started, Williams welcomed Diddy onto her talk show, seemingly on good terms.
I know I pissed a lot of people off, including you. Mm-hmm. But this is a full circle moment, everybody. Yeah. Get into adult conversation. Yeah. Full circle.
Yeah.
While Diddy presents himself as someone who's matured into a role model, several moments are now traced with irony. Williams inquires about Diddy's lifestyle and the people he surrounds himself with, asking if they, quote, violate him. She meant financially, but her phrasing proved prognostic.
You threw a house party and I got the footage, okay? Look at this. Now, who has this many people at their house? Puff and or Sean, Diddy, Doody, what do I call you?
Yeah. Diddy later discusses setting a positive example for African-American males and his charter school, Capital Prep. Diddy's partnership with the school unsurprisingly ended in November 2023. A sexual assault accusation surfaced.
Our children are expected not just to learn to read, write, and compute, but to use that which they've learned to improve their community.
Defending Justin Bieber, Access Hollywood. The allegations against Diddy have made people reassess his relationships with several young proteges, including Justin Bieber. Diddy's 48 hours with Bieber in particular isn't as cool as it seemed in 2009.
Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose.
What grown-ass man is hanging out with a child? For real? So his parents released him to Diddy for 48 hours. Gave him, actually, what I read is that because he was signed to Usher introduced Bieber to Diddy and gave Diddy temporary guardianship of him for 48 hours. Listen to this.
But it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
Although Diddy is in trouble with the law now, the positions reversed in 2014 when Bieber got arrested for a DUI. Diddy defended Bieber in an Access Hollywood interview. He acknowledged that the pop star had made mistakes, but Diddy vowed to help him stay, quote, on the right track.
I don't think that he should be judged like he's not a human being or he's not a teenager that has to hit some stumbling blocks. You know what I'm saying? It's just not fair to make him a perfect human being.
Fast forward almost a decade, Bieber's arrest feels innocent compared to Combs's. Bieber wasn't as quick to rush to Diddy's defense. A source claims that Bieber doesn't want to focus on Diddy's scandal, instead dedicating his time to being, quote, a great dad and husband.
Does he want to have, any affiliation with any of this? No. But I think that even for him, where he is in his life right now, I think it is a smart thing for him to just not even get involved in anything.
Keep J-Lo's name out your mouth. Jimmy Kimmel Live. In late 2023, shortly before Cassie Ventura filed her lawsuit against Diddy, the rapper sat down with Jimmy Kimmel. The host asked about a rumor circulating amid the release of Jada Pinkett Smith's memoir, Worthy. According to somebody claiming to be Diddy's former security guard, Will and Jada wanted to have a threesome with Jennifer Lopez. Diddy was dating Lopez at the time, allegedly threatening to beat up Will Smith. Hearing Kimmel relay this tale, Diddy initially responded with a stone-cold stare. He quickly changed his tune, laughing it off and denying such gossip.
I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. What is this?
Whether or not this story is completely fabricated, it's far from the most.
Now, I read that they may be coming after J-Lo next. I'm going to try to cue this up. Or actually, let's watch the next one because I've played this one before and a lot of you didn't see.
Yeah.
Hands to yourself, Diddy. The Keenan Ivory weigh-in show. In the past, if you had P. Diddy and Mike Tyson in the same room, chances are we'd be more intimidated by the heavyweight champion. Now we'd be more concerned for Tyson's well-being. In 1998, the two appeared on Keenan Ivory Wayans' short-lived talk show. If you're curious about the pairing, the boxer wanted to start a music company.
People's been helping me out. Wycliffe's been helping me out. Devontae Swing's been helping me out. And hopefully Puffy helped me out,
While much of the interview feels casual, a blink and you'll miss it dose of awkwardness occurs as Diddy's hand gets a little too close to Tyson. Wearing a grin, Tyson removes Diddy's hand before scooching away.
But it was like, I just felt I was embarrassed for like weeks. It truly is about the Benjamin, as we see. Oh, yes, he's glittering. It truly is about the Benjamin.
Perhaps we're reading too much into this gesture, but to say that Diddy has been accused of invading personal space would be an understatement. Watching this makes us almost as uncomfortable as Tyson.
What are we doing, man? Let's talk about this guy. Yeah, let's talk about Puff.
73 Questions with Sean Diddy Combs. Vogue. Vogue's 73 Questions series allows viewers to connect with celebrities on a more personal level. Admittedly, a lot of these interviews are presented through a rose-tinted lens. Nowhere is that more apparent than in Diddy's interview.
Love, how do you describe yourself?
I'm vivacious, eccentric, and I'm a Scorpio.
In 2017, the video presents Diddy.
Y'all heard that, right? I didn't plan to play this, so I haven't watched it. I didn't watch it today. I watched it previously, but he says he's a Scorpio. Isn't that the same thing that his white adoptive daughter said when he said, "Tell him who you are. My name is Ava Combs, and I'm a Scorpio." She looked like she was about 12 years old. What 12-year-old do you know introduce themselves like that? My name is, Jamal Green, and I'm a Capricorn. What kind of backward? Listen, I don't even know what to tell you. But she definitely got that from Diddy. Let me try to fast forward to, because there's other stuff I want to show you. Let me try to fast forward to this Conan O'Brien, because I saw oops in the beginning. Hang on. Here it is. I found it. Okay.
From there, I said, you know what? I'm gonna just take everything and like it's come. My consequences for my actions have to be dealt with.
Lock the Doors. Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Between Danny Masterson and P. Diddy, celebs should be careful what they tell Conan O'Brien. It may come back to haunt them years later. In Diddy's case, Conan spoke with the rapper in 2002.
Now, you're legendary for the parties that you throw. You throw a great party.
I'm a legend, baby, for a whole bunch of things.
O'Brien wanted to learn the key to throwing a puffy party. Diddy provided a detailed list that included beautiful ladies, beautiful men, booze, water, and, quote, locks on the doors. Conan brought the interview to a brief halt, questioning if Diddy's parties were safe.
No, I wasn't saying. No, it was a new
Sean,
party.
you're in my house now, you see.
Please,
you stumbled into my house.
Please.
It's okay. It's going to be fine.
Okay, cool. Please let me finish.
Okay.
Diddy admitted that the locks were a little, quote, kinky, although there might be another word for it. Maybe Diddy intended this as a joke, but considering everything that's been reported about his parties as of late, this answer comes off as brutally honest.
You know, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you talking about?
Depends on the way you look at it.
Before we continue, be sure.
All right, so let me just look up the Conan O'Brien. I just want to see just that interview without all her commentary. So lock the doors, Diddy, Conan O'Brien. Here we go. Okay, let's share this one instead. Oh, hold on here. I wanted to find a YouTube version, but this will work too. Hang on. Of course, there's an ad on here. All right, so this one might be a better version because the reason I want to show this is because of what I'm going to show you next.
Nobody, you're legendary for the parties that you throw. You throw a great party.
I'm a legend, baby, for a whole bunch of things.
Yes.
You know.
Huh?
Yeah. You got a live show. You got a live.
I have a live show now. Yeah. You're a killer party. What's the ingredient? What do you do to make just an amazing killer party? Because mine, I put out the cheese whiz. I put on the Paula Anka. No one comes. Wrong move.
See, doing the wrong things.
Wrong thing. Okay.
This is what you need to do. Women, beautiful women, of course.
Beautiful women.
Beautiful men for the ladies, of course.
Wouldn't it be better if there weren't beautiful men there? There were just a lot of beautiful women and then just the guy?
No. You have to.
Right, because obviously Conan O'Brien is straight and Diddy questionable.
There's enough ladies to go around to make the ladies, give the ladies what they need too. You know, you have to take care of your women.
Take care of the ladies. Okay,
ladies, yeah.
Gotcha. That's good.
Can't force a situation.
Right. What about?
Can't force a square peg into a round hole.
That's the story of my life.
Okay, you need that.
I wish you had told me that a long time ago.
Well, I'm here now, brother. It's not too late.
What about like celebrities? You have a lot of celebrities
okay,
at your.
First you have to listen. I'm giving you the menu. Okay, let's just take things slow. Okay, it's all right. He's learning. He's learning,
and I'm slow.
Yes.
I'm very slow.
Check it out. This is my man. We go way back, but he hasn't told y'all that. We'll talk about that later.
We go way back.
But check this out.
When was that, by the way? We'll get to that later. All right.
Okay. Now we need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right. Just different blend. You need the ladies. You need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants?
No. I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like a lot of ladies drink water at parties.
They do drink water at parties, and so if you want to drug some ladies who don't drink alcohol, you have water for them. Special water with a very special ingredient. Anyway,
you know, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
Right?
It's a little kinky, but rock with me. But just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning. No. Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects you know, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you talking about?
Depends on the way you look at it.
Well, we know how Diddy looks at it, okay? So that was the Conan O'Brien interview for those of you who had not seen it. So Galatian said, I watched the video of Diddy and Mom with the IV shaking my head. They was kissing. Ew, I didn't see them. They was kissing? Ew, yikes. I didn't see them kissing. I'm gonna take your word for it. I didn't see them kissing. I'll take your word for it. But I wonder if I have it. Let me see. I think I have it here on the Janice Combs. And then if If I don't find it, I will. Oh yeah, they was kissing. Ooh, they really was, y'all. Oh my gosh, they was kissing. Yikes. Hold on 1 second. Let me I think this is the one where she curses out. She was talking about Mace. Oh my goodness. This is like, you can't even make this stuff up. You really can't. Diddy does deserve a fair trial. Okay, I do have to say that he does deserve a fair trial. But I don't. This is going to be. I wouldn't want to be his lawyer. Let me just say that. Let me see. I'm trying to see. All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because like I said, I'm gonna do a separate video on Diddy. I don't want to, because I'll end up going down a rabbit hole with that. But yeah, there's a video where she had the IV. They was kissing. I'm gonna do a separate video on Diddy, just some shocking videos about Diddy that you probably have never seen. I also came across what I would almost call a pseudo documentary about Diddy's past. Some things that I had not heard before. We've heard a lot from Gene Deal, but there are some things that I had not heard before that I wanted to share with you guys that were really interesting. So, all right. First things first. So we heard from his mentor, okay, who Clive Davis. So those of you who are not aware, word on the street is Clive Davis is groomed Diddy, okay, and that's where some of his proclivities came from in terms of the industry. However, it's alleged that Diddy went to private school, okay, a private school named St. Michael's, and he was an altar boy. Did you guys know that Diddy was an altar boy? He was an altar boy. Now, the same year that he graduated, that school was sued. It was a big lawsuit with the Vatican, with the priests touching boys and doing things with the boys. And so it is very likely that whatever has caused Diddy to become what he is now started at his Catholic school that he attended. June's poetry said my birthday's in 4 weeks. All right, well, we're gonna celebrate your birthday when it come up for sure. So we heard Diddy say lock the doors, right? We heard him say keep it hot in the room. We heard him say water and all those things, right? All right, let's hear from this young lady. She goes by the name of Nikki Heaton. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about her, and then we're actually going to hear from her. I believe, yeah, I have that queued up. We're actually gonna hear from her. Let me just share this article with you guys. I had never heard of Nikki Heaton, okay? But she claims that Diddy and Kanye tried to assault her when she was just 19 years old, and she talks about what haunts her the most. There's a wild rumor that Diddy had tunnels connecting to Michael Jackson's old mansion. Amid a mounting federal investigation, Sean Diddy Combs for SA and trafficking, Nikki Heaton has come forward with her own troubling story. The disgraced rapper was arrested on September 16, 2024, and as we know, he's being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Nikki Heaton is a self-taught singer-songwriter who gained popularity on YouTube covering a lot of hip-hop songs with an acoustic guitar. Her 2014 EP, Bad Intentions, was one of her most successful releases, and she has almost 5 million followers on Instagram. I need to talk to my girl to see if she can hook a sister up, because I can definitely use some more subscribers and followers. Anyway, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said in a statement at the time of Diddy's arrest, as alleged in the indictment, for years, Sean Combs used the business empire he controlled to sexually abuse and exploit women, as well as to commit other acts of violence and obstruction of justice. Today, we know he was charged with a RICO and with trafficking offenses. And so basically, they put out an all points bulletin. If you're a victim of Diddy, come forward. All right, so here's what happened with Diddy. I'm just going to give you a little bit, and then I'm going to let her tell her story. So on June 8th, she took to Instagram to detail her alleged incident that occurred when she was 19 years old, when she had just left home. She claims that she arrived and Diddy and Ye, aka Kanye, They were smashed, trashed, had been drinking too much, and probably had some other things. And they offered her a drink, which she pretended to sip, and then she observed some things. There were some alarm bells going off, and she knew that there was something in her drink. Okay, that's as far as I'm going to go with that. We're actually going to hear from her right now. So she tells her story in, I guess you could say, in 2 parts. So hold on just a minute. Let me refresh and I'll get this up for you. So, all right.
Diddy kept looking at me and Kanye kept looking at Lauren and like they were exchanging glances. And I'm like, they're like watching me strangely. I'm like, okay, let me pretend to drink. And like, I'm not actually doing it. And like that seemed to like make them happy, like me like pretending to like join in. And immediately I'm like, there's something fucking in this drink. There's something in this drink. And I didn't know what to do. And I like my manager was like across the room, but like close enough, but like not next to me, so I couldn't like whisper to her. But I wanted to tell her, I'm like, hey, don't fucking drink this. There's something wrong with this. But I couldn't. So I reach for my phone and I start to type, and Kanye takes the phone out of my hands and he's like, who are you texting? Like, you don't need to text anyone. Like, we're having a party. And I was like, okay. And he like puts it on one of the speakers. And I'm like, fuck. Now what do I do?
So I don't know how well you can hear this because it is kind of low, but she's basically saying that she was offered a drink, she was pretending to sip the drink, and then she realized that there was something in the drink because her manager was with her, and the manager had 2 sips, and all of a sudden she just started acting totally not like herself. Her manager is an introvert. She doesn't typically like to be around people. Her manager was getting loud and belligerent, and not belligerent in a mean way, just talking really loud and very boisterous, like, okay, you're definitely on something. And so she's trying to text her manager to tell her not to drink whatever is in, her hand. And Kanye takes her phone away from her and like kind of like puts it up on a mantle.
Like I don't know what to do. And I see my manager take a sip. And I'm like, fuck. Now what do I do? And then I see her take another sip. 2 sips out of this little vodka cranberry cup. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? 2 sips, and I watch her face flush. And all of a sudden, like I look over and she's speaking really loud and like making jokes. And I'm like, whoa, like this isn't her. Like she doesn't make jokes. She's fucking terrified of people. Like she doesn't even talk. And I was like, it's already hitting her. Like 100%, I just knew that the drinks were all laced with something. And she starts like almost like belligerent a little bit, but not in like a crazy way, just like really enjoying herself. And I'm like, that's not her. That's not her. She doesn't even want to be here. Like, this is weird. And all of a sudden she like dismisses the studio host. She's like, you can leave. And I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? And the girls file out. They go to like a different studio, or they go somewhere. And I'm like, I have to do something. I have to do something. What do I do? And I go to get my phone where Kanye put it on one of the speakers. And as I'm going to get it, I turn and my manager's walking out. And I'm like, no. Like, where are you going? So I see her start to leave. And I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, it's fine. I'm just going to the bathroom. And I was like, no, stay. And she's like, it's right there. I'm just going to go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay. And she walks out. And all of a sudden, I realize that I'm in this studio. The music's low. The lights are dim. You can still like see everything. And I realize that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye, and they're both off their shit. And there's 3 other men, an executive that works with Kanye, his engineer, and his cousin, and me, alone. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. And I haven't started freaking out yet. Like, I know what the situation is. I know, I know this is a bad place to be in, but I don't really feel scared yet, Like, cause I'm like, there's other people around, there's other men around, and I know them. Like, I've known them for a while. Like, nothing bad's gonna happen. And I'm standing there and I realize that this is like a pretty like sizable studio. There's like the glass doors, the couch there, a console, another console, the screen, all of that. But it's like, it's pretty big, but you can still see and talk to everyone easily. And I realized that I'm standing really close to the exit, and it's a glass door and it opens in, and I'm standing pretty close to it. And I realized all of a sudden that Kanye and Diddy have realized that I'm the only girl in the room. And they're like fucked out of their minds. And they start coming towards me and they're like, don't you want to take your clothes off? Like, it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, fine. I'm fine like this. And they're like, come on, like, it's just us. Like, we're all just friends. Like, let us just like see like how you look. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And like, I still haven't gotten scared yet, you know, like I'm still like, this is a bad situation. I'm creeped out, but like, there's no reason to panic. There's other men here. Yeah, so they're coming towards me and I'm like, okay, this is fucked. I don't know where my manager is. I don't know where anyone is. And they're coming towards me more. They're trying to like take my clothes off. And I'm like at that point where I'm like, this is not good, but I'm like still trying to like play it off. Just like, stop, you guys are fucking stupid. Like, get out of here. Like, don't touch me. Did this just freeze? Okay, so let me just get to the point. So they start trying, like, they're like pawing at me. Like, they're both drunk, probably on something else. And I start to get a little bit apprehensive because I'm pretty much like backed up against the wall. Like, there's only one exit and I'm pressed up against this door. And I'm still not completely terrified yet, but I'm like, you guys stop, like, stop. And they're getting to the point where they have like ripped my shirt off. And like, I'm like almost fully exposed at this point. And they're both coming at me. And I'm like, you guys, like, seriously, this isn't funny anymore. And I look to my left where his executive is. Like, we know him pretty well. Like, we've been around him a lot. He's literally 3 feet away from me. Like, if I reached and he reached too, like, we could touch. Like, he's that close. And I look and I'm like, hey, like, I give that look where I'm just like, come on, like, step in. Like, this isn't cool. Like, you're a grown man. Like, you're like 50 years old. I know you have a family. Like, you know this isn't right. Like, do something. And this is the part that for as long as I live, I will never fucking forget. It isn't actually the aspect of being sexually assaulted. That's not what haunts me. It's this. It's as these two grown men were pawing at me, trying to take my clothes off, I look over to this man asking for help, and I literally mouth the word help. And we lock eyes. And he looks away. I'm like, okay, there's 2 more men in the room. And I look to his engineer next, who's sitting right next to him. And I know that he's married and he just had a little baby girl. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something. And I look at him next and I'm like, okay, like, do something, say something, do anything. And he looks down at his phone and starts texting. And then I was like, oh, fuck. I look at Kanye's cousin next. And I'm like, do something, you know, like, fucking do something. And he spins his chair around. And that's when that, like, gut-wrenching fear set in. And I was like, oh, shit. No one's fucking saving me tonight. No one's gonna do anything. No one's gonna do fucking anything.
And so she's basically saying that was the hardest part and all that, is that there were other men in the room who saw what was going on, and they just turned a blind eye. So there's a part 2. I'm not going to play it. I'll just tell you, you know, what happens. So how does she get out of the situation? Because when this story ends, when this video ends, she's basically saying, like, okay, so they're not helping me. Diddy and Kanye have all but, you know, tore my clothes off. So they got her shirt off. They're trying to get her pants off. And so she says she just starts praying. she starts praying, and she's like, God, just please help me. And she says she hears this voice telling her to move towards them, like, go forward, go towards them. And she says, great, the one time I pray, this is the answer that I get. And she said, in that moment, it just clicked, because the door to get out folds inward, and she was pressed up against the door. So she said she just lunges at Diddy and Kanye, who were trashed and under the influence of other drugs, and they kind of like get startled and kind of lose their balance a little bit, like, whoa, giving her enough time to turn around, pull the door inward, and to get out of there. She said she opened the door, she snatched up her clothes, her phone, and she hid like in another studio down the hall that was dark, and she stayed there for about 25 minutes until she thought it was safe to leave. And she said she doesn't know what happened with all the other girls. There were a lot of girls there when she first got there, and they were all drinking the same thing. And she says, well, what happened with them? Do they even remember? And apparently her manager has a case, or is going to be a part of the class action suit, and so is she. She's a part of the class action suit. So this is just it's crazy, because this is not like it was something happening in isolation. People keep comparing Diddy to Epstein, but I think he's worse, because number one, he was doing it for a lot longer. And number two, I think his victims are a lot younger. And number three, there weren't that many people around when Epstein was doing what he was doing. It was really Ghislaine Maxwell that was kind of coordinating and orchestrating all of that. But people saw what Diddy was doing in plain sight and did nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right. So I'm going to skip over to this Wendy Williams article really quickly. It's titled Wendy, not that one, hold on a second. So this is a resurfaced interview. It says when Diddy threatened Wendy Williams over her 16-year-old son, she wanted to say, stay away from my boy, okay? I feel like I should remember this, but I don't. So Diddy threatened Wendy Williams by claiming that he would secretly meet, or that he had secretly met her 16-year-old son, right? Now, Wendy's one of the first people to let it out the bag that Diddy swings both ways, okay? So he claimed that he had secretly met her 16-year-old son. Says Radar can reveal a surface video featuring the disgraced rapper being interviewed by Wendy Williams on her TV show sparked sinister theories by fans believing Diddy was trying to intimidate her. And I remember this interview. So now I know why she was so nervous in this interview, because she was like, can I say that? Can I say this? The veteran star was clearly rattled by Diddy's claims that he had met the teenager backstage before the interview and stuttered when attempting to move on from his frightening admission. So if you guys remember the Wendy video, she was really off, okay? Really, really off her game that day. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know that what the issue was is that Wendy had heard out of Diddy's mouth that he had been alone for a little bit with her son. Diddy was promoting his movie Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and he explained to Williams that he didn't release it for the money, but instead to share a story that had a happy ending for African-American men and women. That's what we talked about. After the audience cheered in appreciation, Williams referred to her son, Kevin Jr., who's now 24, sparking Diddy to reveal that he had met her son backstage before the interview. So at the time of the interview, her son was 16. Williams said, and let me tell you something, as the mother of a now 16-year-old, before Diddy interjected by saying, who I met backstage, he's a great young man. And that's what triggered her response and why she was stammering and stuttering and couldn't get it together. So a lot of people, I've played this clip before. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I've definitely played it before. But somebody wrote that was a threat. He's saying play nice. The way that she hesitated, you know she knew about him. Well, she did. She was the first one to tell everybody that, something was up. So, speaking last week, singer Good Friday revealed she was 16 when Diddy invited her to a debauched bash held inside of a Toronto hotel, and alleged teenagers were lured to the X-rated parties with drugs and candy. Here's her story. She says that Diddy had her and a friend come to Diddy and a friend had Good Friday. This is this artist, Good Friday, come to one of his freak-out parties when she was 16. So she said she was in Toronto and attended an autograph signing for Diddy's album Forever. Friday says she was in a girl group at the time and that they sang at the event. After they sang, he made his move. He was hitting on me, commenting on my beautiful eyes and complexion. She said then he invited her and her friend back to his hotel for a party. When she told him that they were only 16, he said, "It's okay. I'll check IDs at my parties." The security guard advised us of the rules and specifically said we can't use our phones in any of the party rooms if we have them. Smartphones with cameras were not invented yet, or social media. I had an old Sony Ericsson on prepaid minutes and that had died at the signing. The no phone situation was another red flag for me and I began getting anxious. Friday claimed that there were 2 parties going on when she got to Diddy's suite. She also claimed there was a lot of X going on already in the main party that they went to first. She said that after finally running into Diddy, she asked him if he had seen her friend, who she had lost track of, and he told her to ditch her friend. He walked away and I went in search of her in the various connecting rooms, and one door was locked. I tried to open it and the security guard immediately came to me to ask what I was doing and informed me that I was not allowed to go into that room until I was invited by Puffy to the quote unquote other party. That's what the security called freak-offs, the other party. He walked away and I went in search for her in the various connecting rooms and one door was locked. Okay, I just read that. At that point, she said she tried to leave but was blocked by a security guard. So she started yelling and calling her dad. That's when I pulled out my phone. He didn't know it, but it was dead, but he moved out of the way. She claims that Combs appeared angry as he rushed towards her down the corridor, and she told the entourage she was only 16. Her father was calling her, and it was past her curfew. I flashed my dead phone in his face, and the elevator opened at the perfect time with the hotel manager and hotel security in it. I ran into the elevator, but the hotel security held it open until the manager asked him to lower down the music. Other guests were complaining. Friday says she was elated when Diddy was arrested because she, like many others, knew this was coming. Okay. Last week, attorney Tony Busby announced that his Busby law firm has been asked to be the lead counsel for more than 50 people who claim to have been victims. Well, that 50 has turned into 3 digits, 120 plus people. Yeah. So Wendy Williams has something to say. According to Daily Mail, she broke her silence on the whole investigation on Diddy. She said years after she was criticized for speaking out against the disgraced rapper. Wendy Williams has spoken out in the wake of Sean Diddy Combs' arrest, claiming it was about time that he was investigated. Heralded for decades as rap royalty, Combs is currently he's waiting trial in Brooklyn. We know that. Williams Wendy has been openly critical of Diddy, who again is 54 years old, throughout her career. So unsurprisingly, she was relieved to learn that he's being investigated finally. She said, "What is really weird is that I have been told by so many people, Wendy, you called it, including some people from my family who have said the same." The popular TV host who said she is doing good in the wake of her aphasia diagnosis and health concerns. She was horrified at the video of Diddy abusing Cassie in the lobby. And we all know that if Wendy was still on her show, baby, she would have been all over this. You know how I feel about that. It's about time. To see this video on TV of Cassie getting pummeled, it was just horrific. But now you have to think, how many more times? How many people? How many more women? It's just so horrible. The Wendy Williams Show aired its final episode in June of 2022, 13 years after 13 years without Williams herself making an appearance. Yeah, we miss Wendy. We really do. One fan wrote, I truly miss Aunt Wendy Williams on days like today. No one did hot topics like she did. No one. I can almost hear her going off on Diddy and telling us she told us so. She did try to warn everybody. Now, whether or not they were going to listen is a different story. But she did try to warn everybody about what was going on. Here's the last story for the day. So a young lady by the name of Elizabeth Overson, I had never heard of her, but she talks about being gifted to Diddy. She was formerly known as Karine Steffens and widely recognized by her infamous nickname Superhead. Okay, I have heard of Superhead, okay? She's come forward with new revelations about her relationship with Diddy. In a recent interview with the Daily Beast, she revealed unsettling details about how she was introduced to the rap mogul, stating that she was gifted to Diddy by a high-powered music executive shortly after his publicized breakup with Jennifer Lopez. Reflecting on the encounter, Superhead, okay, she was called, is also an author, shared her first meeting with Diddy occurred after a wild night of drinking and pill popping with other music execs. She describes leaving a nightclub around 3 a.m. when the introduction was made. According to her, the executive simply told Diddy, send her to my house. And she followed that order. That was the first time he and I spent time together, Overson revealed, now believing she had been given to him as a gift. Wow. In the interview, she disclosed that despite the power dynamic, she was fully aware of the situation. I knew what was expected of me when I got to the house. I was no victim. She further explains how the entertainment industry fostered a toxic atmosphere where everything goes, describing a world filled with drugs, alcohol, and intense partying. You chose your pill, you take your champagne, and that's your vibe for the night. Overson recounted another night at Diddy's mansion on Miami's Star Island, likening the experience to a scene from The Great Gatsby, but with a darker twist. Men in tuxedos, topless women in angel wings, synchronized swimmers outside, and Group X in the bathrooms. Trays of hors d'oeuvres and drug pills were passed around inside. While other recent allegations against Diddy have portrayed him in a different light, Overson's narrative focused less on victimization and more on the surreal and hedonistic culture surrounding powerful figures in the music industry. Her story lends credence to the many stories about the excesses and exploitation in the world of fame and fortune. And I talked earlier about a young boy who was very excited to meet Diddy until Diddy took him into a room and made him go down on his hot dog. Yeah. Absolutely disgusting. And looks like I'm losing connection. Hang on. Sorry, y'all, my internet was acting up. So there was something in the chat that I wanted to address. Onisha said, Wisdom, you and the other bloggers be careful of IS. She's losing her mind. Thinking about a newscast of a coworker that did something unexpected. My prayers go wide. God hears and watches your surroundings. I appreciate you, Queen. James said he looks more demonic every day. Beelzebub is definitely coming to the forefront. Look at the center of his face. Well, he's not the only one looking like Beelzebub. Apparently, I was on the phone right before the live with with another content creator who was telling me about IS's shenanigans in the courtroom. Apparently, it was mistaken. It was a mistaken call out, I guess, but Infamous Sylvia was called to the bench because someone thought that she and a young lady were taking pictures of Love's computer when the cameraman had a shot of Love's laptop and what was on it. And I guess he was supposed to have a different shot and didn't know. And so people took screenshots of the computer, what was on the computer, what was on the screen, and sent it to the judge. And so, yes, I was talking to Dennis earlier Also, because he has a Rule 22, but there were some changes that the judge made on there, not allowing him to do some things. And we're wondering if it's because of what happened here. Did y'all see the video of court this morning where IS was called in front of the judge because someone reported that she took a photo of one of the witnesses in the YSL case and the clown lied? I don't know what happened. I don't know what to believe. But if it's photo of a witness, yeah, she may have done it because she's done that before. It's possible. Galatians said, Jenny from the block, aka been around the block, don't know if she wants a black or a white man. She needs to be arrested and charged. She done her dirty deeds too. It's so many people. It is so many people. I don't know what is going to happen in this case because Diddy is going to bring down an entire industry with him. Mary J. Blige, J-Lo. I saw Leonardo DiCaprio on some photos, okay? Aaliyah has already gone on to glory. Paris Hilton. I mean, there's just so... Diana Ross, okay? Jay-Z. And there's a lot of things going on about Jay-Z. There's a YouTube channel by the name of Urban Noir that's spreading rumors that Beyonce has filed divorce papers against Jay-Z because the police are looking at Jay-Z right now. That has not been corroborated, okay? There's a sector of people out here on YouTube that are engaging in clickbait and they're putting out false narratives. And I don't know if this is the same channel that put out the rumors about Debrat and Judy getting a divorce and fighting over custody of that beautiful baby, but it's not true. It's not true. Diddy gave her Ciroc, and people are wondering if it was Spike. Not sure if it was the same show. It appears he wasn't ever going to stop. I wonder what evidence the feds have. Well, like I said, I was told that there's the possibility that there was liquid ecstasy in some of those bottles and that it may not have just been baby oil. And that's something that they would have a concern about. Who cares about the baby oil? But if you have 1,000 bottles of a date rape drug, you got a problem. If Wendy has to testify, she will be competent and in the right state of mind to be credible. She sure will. Where were the parents of these teenagers? Strawberry Tiger, you were a teenager once. You know how this go. You know, you tell your parents you're going to a sleepover, but then you're really sneaking onto a Diddy party. I'm just saying. Just saying. There are cameras in the courtroom. They can find out who took pictures and if they took pictures. Sure will. But Onisha said, be careful because the lady is losing her mind over there. All right. So last but not least, we're going to look over, where is it now? We're going to look over this, this document. Okay. Again, I'm not going to go through, and there's 2 documents I'm going to show you. The other document is the motion, because I don't think you guys saw that. It's the motion that had, and speaking of the devil, that had her name all up in it. So we're going to look at both of those. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Y'all, I was so mad trying to find this document. When I looked on the docket, I could see that there was a motion, and it was a motion to suppress vehicle search, but the document wasn't there. Usually you click on the document, if it's free, you download it. If it's not free, you pay for it. The document literally was not there. So I'm like 2 hours on my computer, on my phone, trying to find this document. Googling and schmoogling. I finally found it. And then after I did all of that, I saw that Bougie had it on her membership. I was like, I could have saved myself 2 hours. But anyway, I have the document. And like I said, I'm only going to read the interesting parts. I'm not reading all this. But so it comes down, defendant Ernest Williams, by and through undersigned counsel, and hereby files this motion to suppress vehicle search any and all evidence obtained from the vehicle of the white Ford F-350 and all derivative evidence pursuant to the 4th, 5th, and 14th Amendments, honey, of the Constitution of the United States. So basically what Nesto is trying to do is through his lawyer, okay, he's trying to prevent the evidence obtained from his vehicle, so that's the GTAC computer that has the 34 images, okay, of the children's, the underage girls and animals, okay, the 2 black dildos, the mask with the zips, the liquid Viagra, okay, all of it is here, the liquid Viagra too, all right. He doesn't want any of that to be entered into evidence, because that's probably the most damning of all of his cases. Now, I don't know how that works because he's not indicted on these charges, but he's trying to prevent, and that's where all this started. So I don't know if their play is that, well, if we can get them to suppress this evidence and all the evidence connected to it, then that's going to destroy half the prosecution's case. And that would be the case if we weren't dealing with, can you woo, 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 wooing. I don't think this is going to work. And the reason why I don't think it's going to work, because I don't have the warrants in front of me, but I believe Ernest Williams had asked Detective Natalie Fields for something out of that bag. Okay, something he wanted, medications, his bottle of pills, something he wanted out of the bag, right? And now medication, something like that, yes, they would allow that to go with him. But what they would not have done while he's in custody, they would not have allowed him to go into his bag to grab anything. So he gets out the car, they read his rights, he's handcuffed, they put him in the back of the police vehicle. I'm just giving you a hypothetical situation. Okay, imagine this. They put him in the back of the vehicle. He's hollering and screaming, I need my pills, I need my bag, right? I need my bag. Because even when he was talking to Shirley Strawberry, he kept talking about this bag that he thought he can get it back. Because I guess he didn't understand that they were going to find out what was in the bag. But anyway, so I imagine that they went over into the vehicle to get the bag. Tell me, what is it that you're looking for and where is it? I'm looking for my pills. It's in the side pocket. Now he's giving them, hypothetically, permission to go through this bag. So now they see the 2 black dildos. They see the liquid Viagra. They see the black mask with the zips. They see documents showing that his Bentley was repossessed because he wasn't paying the note, and some other stuff. Now they impound the vehicle because he's there. It's just him. We don't know if he asked if someone could come and pick up the vehicle and they told him no, that she has to get it from the pound. Okay, I've heard that before. I've heard police officers say, no, you got to get it from the pound. Now, if Shirley had been in the vehicle with him, then they probably would have had to allow her to drive the vehicle home or wherever. But because he was by himself, the vehicle is registered to Shirley, but he's driving it. Okay? He's been followed for the better part of a month when he's arrested. They were following him. So, and I'm pretty sure they read about these warrants and started digging and doing the same research that we ultimately were doing. And I'm pretty sure they found out about it. Because when they got the vehicle impounded, they had to do inventory of his stuff, but I'm pretty sure they already knew what was in the bag. I don't think this is Wisdom's daughter now. I do not believe they found out what was in the black bag when they did the inventory. I think they already knew, and that's why they brought dogs to try to, what do they call that? To see if they would hit on any narcotics, okay? Because if you look him up and you look up his history, he had been charged with possession of nose candy with intent to distribute. But anyway, so on or about July 7, 2022, Officer Natalie Fields and another officer, Ivan, I can't say his last name, with Roswell Police observed Mr. Williams driving his wife's Ford F-350. Her name was just on it, but this is Nestle's vehicle. Eastbound on Pine Grove Road. Now, why would he be driving on Pine Grove Road when he told Sonia that he didn't have a house or an apartment? He told his wife the same thing. We know that he did. We know that he had a house right next door to Erica King, but he claims he didn't. But they know the truth. So they were following him. He pulls pulls into 1070 Alpharetta Highway. I should look that up and see what that looks like. Let's see if we can look this up and see what it looks like. What does 1070 Alpharetta Highway look like? So he pulls here because as Pam reminded us, he was, oh, there is a picture. He had already been evicted from his last barbershop, so he was probably looking at some commercial property. Let me show you guys this image. So this is where he was picked up. Okay. And that's funny. Look, it is a trailer. And that looks like one of the trailers that Nesto stole. That's funny. But anyway, this is on or about where he was picked up. So he says he was looking for some commercial real estate. That's 1027. That's 1025. So it's got to be this way. Let's see. May not be exactly the same because, granted, this was 2 years ago. Okay. But anyway, somewhere on or about here, okay, Nestor was arrested. Shouldn't have been there. That's all I'm trying to say. He shouldn't have been there, but he was there. Right? Okay, let's get back to what we were looking at. So you guys got a chance to see where he was picked up at. All right. All right. So that's where he was. He got out the vehicle. He started taking pictures of a for-lease sign, okay, because he was trying to start his next scam. He was looking for another place to rent that he wasn't going to pay rent, okay? And then that's when they executed warrant EW 03-28-723, okay? So he gets arrested. And he's arrested for theft by deception and search without incident. So they searched him. I don't know if they strip searched him. They searched him. After his arrest, he was notified by Detective Gooden that the truck would be impounded and that Officer Fields had the vehicle towed to the Roswell Police Department lot. They were not going to miss out on the opportunity to check out this vehicle. Now, there's a lot that this doesn't say. I'm doing a lot of inference, but there's a lot that this doesn't say. I'm just saying. Sorry, hold on 1 second. I'm just trying to catch up on the comments. I'm late listening to the debate, but I'll hit the rewind and get the watch time in. Are you going to court tomorrow? Did you get the Rule 22? I sure am, and I sure did. Yeah, I decided not to cover the debate. I didn't think it was necessary. JD Vance, in my opinion, is a clown. Okay, I would listen to the debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris a second, third, fourth, and fifth time. But the debate with JD Vance, no, I don't need to hear anything that man has to say. I'm good. So on or about July 8th, Detective Gooden contacted Roswell police officer Corey Dovell to conduct an open-air sniff with his drug-sniffing canine named Ivar on the vehicle that was driven by Mr. Williams. Now, why would they have a drug-sniffing dog unless they had already seen something? Hey, DJ. He said the debate was great. JD Vance destroyed Tim Walz. Now, DJ, did JD Vance really destroy my boy? Or are you just saying that because you a Trumpster? I'm just saying, are you being fair and objective? Those Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walk of Shame, you put it in the chat and let me know who you think won the debate. If it was JD Vance, then it was JD Vance. Okay, Penelope, I ain't seen you in the wild, Queen. Penelope said, kinda, but not really. Watch, you're gonna be shocked. Okay, fair enough, DJ. I will watch it. It's probably not gonna be tonight. I gotta test my cameras and I'm getting sleepy because I gotta make sure I'm ready for tomorrow. But I will definitely watch and I will let you know what I thought. Okay. He hasn't answered a question yet without blaming Kamala. Well, Penelope S said it was even. All right, I'm going with Penelope S and Nesto Shackles. Okay, they're saying that JD Vance did not destroy Tim Walz. It might have been 50-50, and that JD Vance was doing a lot of Kamala blaming. Okay, which means that he had no argument and nothing to say. 9:30 a.m. is court. All right. However, Nesto's not going to be called at 9:30. He's probably not going to be called until after lunchtime because Wooten has a conflict. He has another case that he has asked the judge, can he handle that first? And then, do Nesto after. Okay. Joe's Poetry said, a little bit the little bit I heard, I thought JD was doing better. Okay, we got. See, do I need to poll this? Do I need? All right, I'm gonna do a poll. I'm gonna do a poll so we can see who really won this. Who really won this debate? I think I'm gonna do that if I can even find it. Now the poll is gonna be on Bad Girls Talk. So if you guys are on Wisdom's Daughter, you gotta pop on over here. Because I need the watch time over here. Start a poll. Okay, who won tonight's debate? I gotta cut my nails, they're too long. I can't type anymore. Who won tonight? I'm gonna keep the question very simple. So who do you think won tonight's debate? Do you think it was Tim Wall? Or did JD Vance show up and show out? All right, that's the question. All right, so the poll is over on Bad Girls Talk. So you have to come over here in order to participate in that poll. All right, and I'm also going to pin the link to Bad Girls Talk for the live in case you're over on Wisdom's Daughter. I'm gonna pin it at the top of the chat. All right, so y'all let me know. Shout out to I Am Mrs. BB, Paul Jackson. Hey Paul, how you doing, love? King Paul is in the building, y'all. Of course, the Harris lover is gonna say Walls left aloud, but you can't unsee what you will see. Okay, well, they're just giving their opinion. You know, everyone's gonna vote for their favorite, but I'm gonna watch it and I'll give you my honest, unbiased opinion. Okay. All right, Paul, I'm glad you're doing good. If you're doing good, I'm doing great, love. That's what I want to hear. All right, so I believe, getting back to this Nesto stuff, I believe that they had already seen something, and that's why they called the dog to sniff around. Okay, and they said the dog positively alerted on the truck for the presence of illegal narcotics. We know for certain that he had a bottle of liquid Viagra up in there, but we don't know if it was legal or not. That's that. And so they obtained a search warrant. This is what Nesto's lawyer is trying to combat. He's trying to say that it was an illegal search. He's trying to say that there was no reason to impound the vehicle. I don't think that's going to work because if there's nobody there, right? Shirley has her own vehicle, right? She's got her, at the time, she still had the G-Wagon. So she's got her G-Wagon. Who is he going to call anyway to come pick up this vehicle? So I don't think that's going to stand. And with Nestor's history, I don't think they're going to give him any grace. Yeah, day to day, when they picked Nestor up, when he got arrested, so I just showed it a minute ago. I showed just a few minutes ago where he was arrested at. When he got arrested and they pulled him over in the truck, he had a black bag. Inside the black bag was liquid Viagra, 2 black dildos, a bondage and what they call it? Bondage and masochism, bondage and masochism, right? Mask, the BDSM mask, all right? It was a black mask with the zips where you unzip the mouth part. So he had that. He had a bottle of liquid Viagra and he had documents, right? Because that's how he calls them, not documents. He had documents stating that his Bentley, the Musain, had been repossessed because he wasn't paying the note. So he lied and told Shirley that he was up to date on everything, but nope, sure wasn't. That man was rock hard getting arrested. Man, he went to Northside Hospital to get drained. Oh, oh my God. That is way too much information, Dana J. Shout out to Dana J in the building cutting up. So again, they found, they already knew the vehicle was registered to Shirley Strawberry, but the warrant was signed by Judge Rickman. Okay, that's who signed it. And again, here's what was in his black book bag. Multiple documents, including the document showing that his Bentley was repossessed. Okay, a silver and black G-Tac computer. That's the device that allegedly had these 34 images of underage girls and animals. He had a gold iPhone and he had a 32 gigabyte USB drive. and keys to vehicles. Okay, plural. How many vehicles does this man have? He probably had a key to the ambulance. He probably had a key to the Bentley, even though he wasn't paying on it. He had a key to the F-350. He probably had a key to Shirley's G-Wagon. Let me see what else he had. He had also stolen 2 Harley Davidsons, so he probably had keys to those 2 Harley Davidsons. He also had a Dodge Charger, so he probably had keys to the Dodge Charger. I mean, this man had a whole car lot worth of keys in his bag. Now, what was on this 32 gigabyte USB drive? But I would love to know. So they're saying, this is what his lawyer is saying. The search of the truck was illegal. It was done without the issuance of a valid search warrant, without exigent circumstances. So here's the thing. They can search the vehicle with just cause. If they smell something, they can search the vehicle, right? If they see something that looks off, they can say it's a part of their investigation. Yes, you heard what I said, underage girls and animals and peanut butter and stuff, okay? I'm not going any further than that because I need to sleep tonight. Yes, absolutely. That's what they found. And 4 of the pictures were very clear, and it was clear that these were 11 and 12-year-olds, okay? This is not underage girls like 15 and 16 or 17. These were kids. These are somebody's babies, okay? And what they said is that what they found on his electronic devices, and they don't say which one, it could have been the USB drive for all we know. Sonia swears, first she said it was his phone, but then she said it was his computer, his laptop, because he tried to say that the laptop was used. Those images could have been on that USB drive. All right, very possible, because they said that the folder was curated. These weren't random images, they were curated. Okay, and I don't believe Nesto buys a used anything because he's too narcissistic for all that. But they're saying that the vehicle was illegally impounded and that they didn't have a right to search the vehicle. I don't think that's going to fly. I think they're going to be able to make a case that they had every right to search the vehicle, and Wooten is going to come up with something and some law that's going to make it work. Officer Fields have been investigating Nesto, and she was told by one of the victims that Nesto kept everything in that vehicle, and they indeed found her debit card number written on paper in the vehicle. That was one of the documents that was in his bag. You show is right. You show is right. Yes, that is accurate. So they knew that they were going to find something, and it was just the perfect, the perfect setup. The fact that he had this outstanding warrant made it so easy for them to do what they needed to do. So then the lawyer is stating all these different court cases where vehicles were searched and it was deemed that it was illegal, yada, yada, yada. Like, dude, nice try. I mean, he's trying. I got to give him credit for trying. He's doing more than his other lawyers, but I just don't think it's going to work. The Court of Appeals has adopted the view that when a driver is arrested and a reliable friend is present who may be authorized and capable of removing the vehicle, or where the arrestee expresses some preference for a private towing service, the rationale for impoundment does not exist. Okay, well, so here's the thing with that. There was not a reliable friend present, so we're going to go ahead and throw that out. And secondly, Nesto may not have asked for a tow truck to come pick up the vehicle. Okay, he may not have known what to ask for. I don't think he was ever arrested like this before. Galatians said, did he film or did they catch him doing the mess with the animals? So here's the thing. I believe it to be pictures and not necessarily video, or if it is video, they were able to capture stills from the video. But it doesn't, from what we know, it doesn't show him in these videos or doesn't show him doing anything. He was in possession of this content, which is just as bad. So Nesto Shackle, Shuffle, Walk of Shame said an arrest is cause to search. Yeah, they're going to have a hard time with this, I believe. I truly believe they're going to have a hard time. Now, if he asked for a friend to come and pick up the vehicle or the car to be towed and all that, and they didn't allow him to exercise that right, then it could be a problem. Says there was no evidence of any connection between the car and the appellant's arrest. No evidence that the car was illegally parked or was a hazard to traffic. I don't know if the lawyer forgot at this particular point that there was an open warrant. Okay. All the police officer has to do is drive behind you, and if they see that your insurance is out of date, they see that your driver's license is suspended, they can run your tags and see a whole lot. Yeah. No, Danny, you don't want to know. Trust me. And Bible Lady goes in detail as to what was found on her channel. And although she was pretending to be disgusted, I think she was actually enjoying relaying all those sick details that nobody really needed to hear. Okay, this is one of the first videos that lives that I had ever been on with her. And that's when I learned that that's the kind of content creator she is. She gets the document, she goes over it, but we didn't need to hear those disgusting details. Okay. Anyway, she could have left all that out, but so they're basically saying that there's no evidence, it shouldn't have been impounded, and that's basically their whole argument. So here's what I'm thinking, because I'm not reading all this. What I'm thinking, and then they're saying that the vehicle was illegally searched. I'm thinking, once again, they are trying to get as much of this case dismissed as possible, and if they can get the judge to agree to suppress this evidence and anything connected to it, like a domino effect, like a domino effect, it would affect everything down the line. They said, furthermore, there was no reasonable suspicion or probable cause to believe that Mr. Williams was engaged in illegal drug activities, which required the need to request a drug sniffing dog. Well, there could have been if they saw something in that bag. Think they saw something in the bag. Nesto talks about when he was picked up. It's on one of the calls. Now, his version and what's in these documents is not the same thing. But if they're executing a warrant, then yeah, they had every right to do what they're doing. And then it just repeats what was found and so forth. So again, I'm not gonna read all this. There's another document that I want to show you guys. I'm just gonna stop sharing. So if you remember, everyone remembers that fateful day when the gag motion hearing, okay, where Hoover called everybody and their mama out, including Wisdom's daughter, claiming that we were not real media, we didn't have credentials, and lies. Okay, at least on my part, lies, and that we didn't have proper documents and whatnot. And so Wooten did not read what he submitted because he's like, for the sake of time, I submitted this. I'm not going to reread it. Okay, that's a seasoned lawyer for you, very seasoned lawyer. All right, let me hang on a second, because I believe, let me see if it's on my email. Hang on. Y'all forgive me. I thought I had this one up, but I realized that I was doing it from my phone. Remember I told you guys that I was actually looking up stuff on my phone. Because I was at work today, and I have my little break and whatnot where I can look at some stuff on my phone, but I'm not using my work computers to be looking up information, because I'm not so stupid as to do something like that that caused me to lose my job. And I'm saying that because Bible Lady tried that and it didn't work, and she most definitely lost her job. Using government computers to look up information so she can dox people. You see how God don't like ugly? No. I don't think she would do that today, but, well, she can't because she lost her job. But I'm just saying, lessons learned. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, I have so much stuff on my computer. All right, it's okay. Let me get it off my phone. Oh, is this it? I think this is it. Hang on. This is it. I found it. Okay. Yep, sure did. So the reason why I'm showing you this is because I want to show you what Wooten didn't speak on. And some of you, many of you in here already kind of know what this is about. Nesto's lawyer was trying his hardest to get a gag order for all media, YouTubers included, himself, his client, all the lawyers, so that they can't talk about the case. Because where do we think he got that idea from? He probably got it from Nesto's side chick, Miss Sidehin herself, Sonia. Yeah. And so he quotes all these court cases. He's not really good at quoting court cases, but here's what it says. Defendant Williams' motion seeks to undo this through all. Okay, hold on. Let me just go up a little bit. Let me read this. The value of openness lies in the fact that people not actually attending trials can have confidence that standards of fairness are being observed. The sure knowledge that anyone is free to attend gives assurance that established procedures are being followed and that deviations will become known. Openness thus enhances the basic fairness of the criminal trial and the appearance of fairness, so essential to public confidence in the system. And so it says, Ernest Williams seeks to undo this through an all-encompassing gag order, asking the court to order that neither counsel for the state nor for any defendants, potential witnesses, court personnel, members of the law enforcement investigating Ernest Williams, and members of all media shall, from the date of the filing of this motion until the disposition within the case, make any statements about or release information concerning the within case to any individual or entity, including but not limited to radio, television, social media, podcasts, the internet, or newspapers. Okay? That's what they want. They wanted to silence everybody so that no one can talk about the case. Forget about the fact that Ernest Williams had already gone on every podcast, blog under the doggone sun, okay, from here to Florida, talking about this case. But let's silence everybody. Okay, let's do that. Let's make it so that nobody can talk, because that's what Sonia wanted. Because Sonia was just tired of being dragged through these YouTube streets. Okay, she was tired of getting mollywopped every night. Okay, with the comments, because you know she's a clown. And so what do we do with clowns? We clown clowns. Now, hold on a second. Did I pull up the right document? Because the document that I'm looking for mentions, it has Sylvia's name all over it. Okay, I did not pull up the right document. But anyway, that was just the motion that he originally filed. So that's not what I'm looking for. Give me 1 second. I was getting to a pause, gonna find it. Gag motion. Okay, I found it. Nesto gag order motion rebuttal. Wrong document, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Here we go. So here's the state's response. So they're like, okay, Hoover, that's all well and great, but let me explain some things to you. Now, when Bible Lady said that her name was all over this, she did not exaggerate. She told no lies at that time. Okay. Let's read what this says. Come now, the state of Georgia, by and through the undersigned counsel, and responds in opposition to the defendant's motion for imposition of a gag order on the prosecution, counsel for the defense, potential witnesses. They didn't even want the witnesses talking. Court personnel, members of law enforcement investigating Ernest Williams, and the members of the media. The defendant asked the court to impose an unconstitutional prior restraint on the free speech of three general groups: the media, counsels for the parties, and third parties. Okay, so here's the number one reason why they're like, this is a load of crap. He cites the WTVIA case where that was much larger. You're talking about CNN and all these large news outlets and whatnot. It was a national case, and they determined that you cannot gag the media. It's unconstitutional. Okay, he came with his receipts. All righty. Let's see. Then he's talking about he starts talking about Shirley Strawberry and Nesto and whatnot. So let me get to that. Because ultimately what he had, here it is, he had transcripts of the conversations from when Bible Lady went to visit Nesto in jail. The comment to Rule 3.6 further provides that extrajudicial statements that might otherwise raise a question under this rule may be permissible when they are made in response to statements made publicly by another party, where a reasonable lawyer would believe a public response is required in order to mitigate potential justice. So then he says, as explained in more detail below, the defendant gave a video recorded interview while incarcerated at the Cobb County Jail to a YouTuber, a YouTube blogger, Sylvia Tomasini, because that's her legal name. The interview was posted publicly to YouTube on April 26, 2024, just 3 days after the defendant was indicted in this case. During that interview, the defendant made multiple public statements about this case. The only public statements made by the state in this case occurred on or about May 31st, 2024, after the defendant's interview was published to YouTube. The state statements were necessary to inform the public of the nature and extent of the indictment and served a legitimate law enforcement purpose as authorized by Rule 3.6, because they were made for the purpose of seeking out other potential victims and inviting them to come forward. The statements were also limited to subjects which are more likely than not to have no material prejudicial effect on the proceeding as authorized by Rule 3.8. So from at least December 1st, 2009 through June 30th, 2022, Ernest engaged in racketeering activity, yada, yada, yada. So they're basically just going through his charges. He stole money, personal vehicles, motorcycles, coach buses. He stole trailers, automotive parts. He stole your grandma's panties and other various services and property, often by falsely promising to help his victims engage in new business ventures, to promote their existing business ventures, or to help them build their brand or image. He promised that he was going to make them famous, and really he just stole their doggone money. That's what Nesto did. So I'm going to skip over all this. This is just more legal language. Says the defendant fails to ask the court to impose a gag order on himself, and he has made multiple public statements since being indicted of the same character that he now asks the court to restrain others from making. This is why Hoover said multiple times, hey, that girl, this is why Hoover said multiple times during the court hearing that it's a gag order that he's requesting for the media as well as himself, his client, right? Because of this. Because how are you going to ask for a gag order when your own client is running his damn mouth? I'm just saying. So once again, they talk about the YouTube interviews, but then they have a whole transcript. Okay? Defendant gave a recorded video interview to YouTube blogger Sylvia Tomasini, also known as Infamous Sylvia, discussing the facts of both this case and other cases pending against him. Infamous Sylvia video visit with Ernest Williams after divorce file. I mean, they got the link and everything to her Patreon. The defendant made multiple prejudicial statements against the state, and Rule 3.6 authorized the state to respond. Come on with it. Here's Sylvia. So how are you feeling about what happened a couple weeks ago? Referring to the preliminary hearing that occurred on April 8th in Fulton County Superior Court. We hadn't talked about that. How are you feeling about that? Here's Nesto. Well, how should I feel? You know, they've been doing the same thing, lying. So, I mean, I can't make this stuff up. I can't tell somebody, hey, man, do this. Check this out. See, I should have put some cotton in my mouth because I ain't doing it right. No, I ain't got it. I'll do cotton next time. People want to believe what they want to believe, and they're going to make up what they want to make up. So it's clear. I mean, just clear. It's just clear. I don't have no 14-year-old daughter. You don't have a 14-year-old daughter in 2022? No, come on now. Everybody know that. What about your grandchild? Is your grandchild was 14 at that time? Because that's how Bible Lady talks with her 3 master's degrees. I didn't see my grandchild. I ain't see my grandchild is 22 years old. Didn't you just see me in the graduation with her in 20? I don't have all of that going on. All that stuff is just fluff. You know how you charged me with the same charge 15 months ago? Okay, 15 months ago, you charged me with the same exact charge and do nothing but change the date on it and start me all over again. That's what it was. Here's the thing. You got to stay strong through your trials and tribulations. Pastor Nesta. You can't sit down with somebody and say, hey, man, don't do this, don't do that. You know? And they say, well, how you know? You don't know what I'm going through. Well, if I went through some things, I should be able to tell you some things. But if I don't go through nothing, I can't explain nothing, correct? Trust me, I'm going to win at the end. I know I am. So sometimes people have to do what they think is best for them at the time and the moment. Okay, I've seen it time and time and time again. You can't fault nobody trying to do what they're trying to do for themselves. Life is too short to be sitting around trying to wander, wishing, hoping, disagreeing, arguing. Do what you got to do. What do you say to the people that say you're getting your karma for the things that you've done? What do you say to those people? Sorry, y'all. That's my best Bible lady impression. Hold up. I don't know them people. Don't entertain them people. I can't see what the people say about me. I can't see what the people disagree about me. I don't see any of that. I don't see it. It's not around me unless somebody like yourself tell me. You know, I might hear it then, but I don't want to see it. I don't really entertain it because I don't have nothing to entertain. Well, what would you say if you were? What would you say? Well, first of all, I don't believe in karma. I don't believe in it. That's the old Chinese thing. I don't believe in all of that, okay? You can have a 5-year-old child walk across the street and get run over. You can have a 5-year-old child looking at the TV, minding their own business, playing with their toys, and a stray bullet come through. You can have a dog just trying to walk across the street, okay? Trying to find somewhere it's going, get ran over. You can have a stray deer in the night, get ran over by an 18-wheeler or a Hyundai SUV that Wisdom's daughter was driving at night, and the deer jumped out in front of the vehicle because she was drinking and eating on a cup of ice while she was driving. Is that karma? That's not karma. That's just the way of life. So here's the thing. I'm going to win at the end. Trust me. I'm going to win at the end of this journey that I'm going through right now. I'm going to win. Sometimes, you know, people will put you in their ear. You got to watch who you pray with. People praying on your downfall. Amen. Amen. They're praying on your downfall. Amen. So, you know what I say to that? Hey, we're all human. We're all human and we do things. Say things out of character. And sometimes we do things intentionally to make sure, not for their own well-being, their own welfare gain or whatever. Sometimes they can't help but say what they have to say. It just comes out. So whatever people say about me, it doesn't matter to me because guess what? At the end of the day, I got to be happy with me. I can't be happy with nobody else talking about it. I got a question for you. So let's see. It's going on 5 months now. I have been knowing you almost 5 months since January. What do you think is going on? Your personally, from what I've seen and what I've read and all, it's not matching up for me. It's not matching up at all. And you know, I dig, and you know, well, you don't know it, but I dig, and I use common sense. Stuff is not matching to me. So therefore, if it like the OJ Simpson thing, say if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. You know what? Sensible creation sisters say you better read, mamas. And I'm cold reading this, y'all. I ain't never read this before. Okay. In honor of OJ Simpson, that is. In honor of OJ Simpson. Forget about Nicole Simpson. What happened to... Anyway. No, I understand. You know, I understand. I mean, it's not matching up. So, yeah, and I'm not saying that you don't have a past now. You do have a past now. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat that. Hold up. Run that back. I got a pass from 32 years ago. I know. People change. Yes. Okay. See, he pimp talking her right now. He only want her to agree. Okay. I know. You're right. I've done a lot of great things since then. Forget about all the people I stole from and the people's retirement plans that I emptied based on false promises and the cars that I stole, okay? And the women that I forced to sign a blood contract and, and the women that I pimped out and the hoes. Forget about the hoes. I've done a lot of great things since then. A lot of people don't never change, never do nothing good, okay? I've done a lot of good and I'm not gonna let nobody take that away from me. You see what I'm saying? Well, tell them, tell it, tell your good, tell your good stuff, tell it. I'm just saying, I have because I've done a lot of pat yourself on the back. She is telling a pedophile to pat himself on the back. He done cheated all up and down Shirley's heart. Okay? Bankrupt the woman damn near. Pat yourself on the back. He said, huh? Because even he know that don't make sense. Pat yourself on the back. Yeah. I mean, sometimes we could forget that. We could forget that because of the discouraging things. The things that you go through in life make you forget about those great times and the good things and the good energy and the green waters that you dip yourself in to try to exonerate yourself from the sins. Because all you got to do is go in the green water and that'll wash up all the bad juju and the bad energy and God forgive you. You know how it feels to sit up there chained up with this orange on? Okay? Because it don't even match my shoes. You know what I'm saying? I don't wear clothes from Tamu. That's my side chick. She be wearing clothes from Tamu, talking about it's from Michael Kors. But see, I know the difference. I know how that feels. But you ain't sitting in that courtroom and you ain't sitting at jail back to ride. You don't know the things I've been through. Oh my God, I'm having a good time. I'm sorry. Anyway, all right. Let me get back in character. Okay. Hold on, let me take this banner down so y'all can see me. All right, let me get back in character. Okay. You don't know what I've been through myself. All my life I have to fight. You don't know how it feels. You ain't sit in that courtroom. You can't say what you want to say. And you seeing them white boys sitting up there in the police uniforms looking like they want to hang you on a tree. See, I've never felt that in my life. But I felt that day 2 weeks ago. When I tell y'all what, that's not a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? I never felt like that as a black man, but I saw that and my mouth is shut. My mouth is shut. And I can't really defend myself for myself. I can't really defend for myself. I felt that, okay? And for them people getting up on that stand like that, telling them lies the way they tell them, and I can't say anything, guess what? I have to remind myself it's just a preliminary hearing. It's not a trial. You understand what I'm saying? But sometimes you gotta sit back and think. Now you get tricked. But a lot of people are using this to make money off of me. You sure is right. Making a career off of me, damn Skippy, and just making something to have a conversation about, affirmative. And I understand that, but we in another world right now. If I wasn't who I was, I used to deal with in the past, I'm gonna say that. You would never see me on no TV. You would never see me on no internet. We wouldn't be doing no visit calls and all of that. None of this wouldn't be important to nobody out there. Am I wrong? I ain't going to prison. I promise you that. Absolutely, I know that for a fact. Trust me. Oh my Lord. Yeah. And then they have some other exhibits. I guess these are emails that were sent regarding the case and whatnot. But I mean, they had the whole transcript from him talking to Sylvia on the video visits. All right. Like, and she laughed and thought that was cute. It ain't gonna be cute when her black ass is sitting in an orange jumpsuit. And then she gonna know how Nestle feel. Because Nestle said, you don't know what that's like. You don't know what that's like. You got to sit in that jail. You can't say nothing and can't defend yourself. Juju D is cracking up. Oh my gosh. Galatians said, WD, you got them scamming voices. Good, ma'am. We acting right in Los Angeles because Johnny Cochran is dead. We go. Sadly, in their attempt to gag us, it backfired because the only people that are gagged are Nutso and Slutya. Ooh, yeah. And if Slovia, because that's another name for her. Okay, some of y'all call her Silverback, but I call her Slovia. If she don't be careful and she don't censor herself, she gonna find herself by herself sitting in a jail that's 8 feet by 4 feet. Okay. And basically, she won't be able to move as far as she could spit. Wow, the cause in the indictment shaking my head. She still want to sit her big ass down. She still won't, right? She still won't sit her big ass down. Nope. No, not at all. So, anyway, yeah, there you have it. I just wanted to make y'all laugh because I thought this was absolutely hilarious. But we at the 2-hour mark, and y'all know I'm trying to do better with not doing these 4 and 5 hour lives because some of y'all have about an hour trek to work and an hour back, and y'all can get through a lot. But I don't think anyone's gonna be on a replay for 5 hours. Nesto and Sicko, she trying to be a twin. Since we said I'm about to wake my neighbors up. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me check the poll. Let me see how y'all did because I did not watch the debate yet. So okay, so listen, 80% of y'all said Tim Waltz won, and 20% said JD Vance. Now, see, I know Dana J is somewhere pouting. He gonna say, "See, CWD, I told you, the Kamala supporters, they gonna side with Jim Waltz." But I listen. Kamala is my girl. I'm just saying, you know, I'm a side with Kamala, but I am going to listen to it while I test out my camera equipment. All right. And make sure that I'm ready for tomorrow. And because I got my Rule 22 and there are no restrictions, baby. So I'm coming with the cellular phone, I'm coming with the laptop, the camera, the tripod. See JD touching a couch inappropriately. Oh Lord, no, I don't want to see that beautiful bull. I don't want to see that. No, I'm just gonna listen to it. I'm not even gonna watch it. I'm gonna listen to it. So maybe I'll listen to it on V Lenore because I think she was streaming it earlier today. So maybe I'll go over there and watch it, y'all. Y'all let me know. So, all right. So listen, you know what you guys are gonna do for me, right? You're gonna hit the like button. Make sure you like this video, okay? And hit the like button on both channels, on Wisdom's Daughter and over here on Bad Girls Talk. All right. I will be live on Bad Girls Talk doing the Nesto trial on Bad Girls Talk. Okay. That's where you will find me. Get the word out. I will put a notice out early in the morning, just letting everybody know where to come to. I will set up the lives and everything once I test my equipment and make sure that everything is working. Because what I don't want to do is sit in that courtroom and think I'm filming something and then come back and the footage is corrupted because I don't have a 32 gigabyte USB drive like Nesto. I have a 256 gigabyte thumb drive. Wow, I didn't realize 256 gigs. That's this little tiny thing, 256 gigs. All right, last order of business. All right. Make sure you guys go shopping at Butters and Black Soaps. Ladies, if you have a hormone imbalance, okay, ladies, if you have like polycystic ovarian syndrome and things like that, this is a balancing cream made with wild yam. And when I tell you this works, oh my God, it smells heavenly. But this works. You just put a little bit on the inside of your wrist. All right, that's all you need. All right, you can also put it on the inside of your thighs, just a little bit. Okay, so if you ever have hormone imbalance stuff, or if you have cycles that got you going crazy, this is what you want. It's the balancing cream. Not only does it smell really good, but it actually does work. And it's the only thing that topical that I've ever used that actually works. Okay. So yeah. For those of us that have polycystic ovarian syndrome, we know that we don't always ovulate, but you can test for that. And I know that when I'm using this product and I do the test, they're positive. So it works. All right. And next, my favorite product. Can y'all see that? There you go. Y'all can see it a little bit. Let me turn this light up. There you go. My favorite product. Okay. So Sonia must be in here because she said that she's 80% sea moss. It's sea moss and argan body cream. Order this, okay? It smells amazing. Put this on your feet. I promise you. No more socks with Vaseline. Stop with the socks and Vaseline. This right here. That's all you need. Okay. All you need. All right. People ask for pictures. I will give myself a couple days of not using this product and let my feet get real dry and crusty looking, and I'm gonna take a picture and I'm gonna put this on and see I can see the before and after. Because some of y'all like, we want receipts. Y'all petty. Can you say it again? I sure can, madame. Okay. Can you see? Let me see if you can see that in the camera. Okay. It's called Wild Yam Balancing Cream. Okay. This is really good. If you have mood swings and your hormones are all over the place, trust me, get this right here. And you know what? Her products are very inexpensive. Very inexpensive. You know? I'm not trying to mess this all up, but I be wanting to tell you need to up them prices, because if this was a white-owned company, baby, them prices would be double. This is it right here. The Sea Moss and Argan Body Cream. Okay? It smells really, really good. Okay? And what's in here? So it's sea moss, argan butter, sunflower oil. Okay, that's what's in here. Sunflower seed oil, and there are no chemicals in here. It's made with all natural products. Okay, so this is really good to use after you come out of the shower. Use it on your feet, any dry, rough areas, elbows. If you have dry elbows, y'all see my skin glistening? Look at the glisten. Okay, because that's how I be using my butters and black soaps. I'm gonna be playing. Y'all see that? It's just a glistening. Look at that beautiful skin. It just, anyway, that's not what y'all came for. So make sure y'all hit the like button. If you didn't subscribe to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. That is a free way that you can support Wisdom's daughter. If you do want to give a gift, you can send a Cash App over to Bad Girls Talk. Okay. If you want to send a gift, you can send it there, or you can send it to I Am Wisdom's Daughter. It will come to me either way. All right. And when you subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications and select all. So this way you'll get notified when I go live. All right. Share the channel. Let's grow the family. All right. I saw something from I Am Mrs. Beebe. She said all their products are awesome. That's why every time I try to order stuff, it be sold out, because I Am Mrs. Beebe be over there ordering every doggone thing. Yeah, look them up. I'm going to put it back on the screen. It's a Black-owned company. It's local. They make everything in-house, and they specialize in African Black soaps. That was the first thing that I ever tried from them, and I loved it so much, I started trying everything. So yeah, so you guys check that out. And check me out tomorrow on Bad Girls Talk. We'll be doing the Nesto trial. And then what I'm going to do is I will come on. I will probably come on my main channel later to kind of do a recap and tell you a little bit more about what it was like in the courtroom. Yeah, their whipped shea butter is supposed to be back this month. And so I will definitely be hitting up the owner this weekend, because I'm planning to go there and go live in the store, so you guys can actually see it. And I'm hoping to catch them making some things, so you can kind of see how they make some of the products. I agree, their products are reasonably priced and made from natural ingredients. Absolutely. You can always tell when stuff is made with chemicals, because after you use it, your skin is going to be dry. Can you do a notification so I don't miss? Yes, I will. I will put it up on the community wall, so you should get notified. Okay. So, well, all right, baddies, babes, and gents. This is the end of the road for us on tonight. But make sure you tune in tomorrow for the Nesto trial. I will start the live stream probably around between 9 and 9:30. And then there may not be a whole lot to see at that time, but I will start the live stream, and then we'll talk to Dennis. We'll talk to Pam and some other people that are there. And I'll let you know if I see Bonitail. We'll see if Side Hand is in the building. But for sure, I will be. And on that note, I bid you all a good night. Wisdom's Daughter, signing off. I said, Wisdom's daughter signing off. My computer don't want to leave. Don't want to sign off. Come on now. It's time to sign off.